Hey guys, welcome back to the Digital Demons podcast. This is episode 10. We are officially in double digits. 10 weeks worth of podcasting down and a bajillion more to go. So to celebrate being in our 10th week and our 10th episode, I have my first, hopefully of many, special guests with me on this episode. And this first special guest that I have is none other than my girlfriend, Kayla. How are you doing, babe?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. We're just sitting here, just bullshitting, really. We're watching some MTV classic videos, watching Prince stand up naked out of a bathtub right now. That's always awesome. So, yeah, what's been up with you lately?
Nothing much. I can't believe 10 episodes.
Yeah,
How
10
does that
episodes. It's cool. Hopefully we can grow the numbers and stuff like that. So, once we start getting that name out there, and word of mouth and stuff like that, I think the show will be a little bit bigger if we can get it to be, whatever is whatever. I don't really care. It's just fun to do. I like doing it. Like I said, in the beginning episodes, it's just kind of a way for me to let loose thoughts and all that stuff during the week, and then I just get to come and blab basically for, I don't know, however long I want to make a podcast for. So it's kind of good. So yeah, tell these folks a little bit about yourself. I guess whatever you do.
Well, I mean, there's not much. I'm kind of an introvert. I work, I come home, I just hang out. Kind of the same as you, really.
Yeah, both work a ton. Yeah. What else? Is there anything special that the people should know about you?
I mean,
Killing the fucking show right now, dude. Just dying over here. Like I'm about to fucking come up with an answer for you or something. You're looking at me like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Oh my God.
Don't blame me. I'm nervous.
Don't have to be nervous. Don't have to be nervous. So yeah, last week, I had a hell of a show. It was fun. This week I honestly didn't get ahead of the game, and I kind of fucking slacked. I was kind of trying to plan something for the 10th episode, seeing as it's in double digits now, which is cool. But yeah, I was just kind of breezing through the news this week and didn't really see much, besides the same old shit. A lot of stuff on the border. You had Trump and Biden both at the border. Nothing really shaken. You had the dude, the Air Force guy that fucking set himself on fire.
Oh my God, that was so crazy.
Yeah, that shit was wild.
I cannot believe that.
Yeah, dude just fucking walked up outside the embassy and had his fucking Yeti. I'm sure that's good for Yeti marketing though, dude. Just fucking bottle full of gasoline is like, free Palestine, and fucking sets himself on fire like a complete cocksucker. And then what I thought the funniest part though was when he lights himself on fire, he's screaming free Palestine, whatever. And then after a minute, like his clothes all burn off, his uniform burns off, and he hits the ground, and the guy in the background's like, get me a fire extinguisher. Yeah. And the first motherfucker that rolls up pulls a gun on him and is just standing there with his gun pointing at him like he's going to fucking pop up and like do some crazy shit. And then they finally come with fucking fire extinguishers, which was kind of funny because, you know what? Fuck that guy. I don't really care that he was, Air Force, whatever. Not saying that fuck the Air Force, because plenty of my homies have been, like I said, time and time again in the military. But this dude is just off the handle, doing wild ass shit. He fucking lights himself on fire, and in the name of Palestine and all that whole conflict over there, he sets himself on fire. And what really, in retrospect, dude, like, what does that do for Palestine? Did they all of a sudden get free because he lit himself on fire?
That's what I was gonna say. Like, there's that, like, the people that do crazy stuff like that, or the people like for climate change, how they block the streets.
Yeah,
like, you think
causing
traffic is gonna magically get rid of all this crazy climate changes, like, you know, there's other ways of going about voicing, you know, your views and trying to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like
setting yourself on fire and causing traffic jams is not the way to voice your opinions and your views.
I think the funniest thing about that whole like blocking the road is when the people that get tired of it, they just say fuck this and they get out of their car and they start dragging these people by their arms or their hair.
Heck yeah.
And I would totally do the same shit. Like, I got places to go, dude. I'm gonna be late for fucking Kings game or something like that, or, you know, I'm trying to go somewhere and 30 fucking idiots block the 14 freeway. I'm sure by now, with as much of this shit that we've seen, people have zero tolerance for that and will either, one, just straight fucking run them over, or they'll do the same thing, like just pull them out and drag them across the fucking freeway. Or like those I think it was state troopers or whatever it was in Nevada. They blocked the road with the trailer, and they were like sitting there, and the trooper just fucking blasted through that
went
shit
right through it.
Yeah, on the fucking with the truck, and just fucking scooted everybody out of the way. And I was like, "Get out of the road!" That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, that whole protesting shit. No matter kind of what your background is, doesn't make sense. Like, if you're protesting, okay, it's one thing, but like, stand off on the corner of the street and do that shit, or like on the sidewalk. Once you get into the traffic and you're like impeding on people's freedom to move about, I think that's where it draws the line. And I would just say fucking press the gas and run them over, because the cops, as much as authority as they have, they just fucking kick it in the background. And you even see it like on the people that block the like the 101 or the 405 and shit like that. The cops are posted up there just fucking standing there. Like, pull out your baton and fucking whack somebody in the side of the head.
Yeah.
And that'll send a message like, hey, get the fuck out of the road. Like, you shouldn't be here. Or like tase them, or, you know, do something to like incapacitate them, because half the time they get pulled off the road and then they just crawl right back and sit down again. Or they'll put up a big ass banner and fucking sit in the middle of the road like a bunch of dickheads.
Exactly. I've always wondered, like, if I were ever in that situation, if someone were to walk up to them, like, blocking traffic, and ask them, okay, I hear what you're saying. What is this? What is you blocking traffic? What is that going to do right now? It's not going to do anything except for piss people off. It's going to do the very opposite of what you're trying to do.
Yeah, but we're sitting here. There's 45 of us sitting here blocking the 101 right now. It's literally making the planet decrease in temperature by 5 degrees Celsius. It's like,
oh my gosh,
nobody fucking gives a shit, dude. I don't care about that shit.
The
fucking world is the world's gonna do what the world's gonna do.
Exactly.
And no group or faction is gonna be able to change that. So, fuck all you guys. That's what I say. Oh, I was gonna tell you about this the other day. Cranial facial releases.
What?
And that sounds like a sex move. But
it kind of does.
It's not. It's this dude, he's a chiropractor, and I saw this shit online where he like jams a balloon up these people's noses, and he has like one of those you know, like when they take your blood pressure and they like squeeze a little thing and it's like
yeah,
and they can release it. It's attached, it's like a balloon thing. It's like a long little balloon, and he shoves it way up people's noses, and then he's like, okay, take a deep breath, close your lips, and then he plugs their other side of their nose and squeezes this shit, and it like balloon, like the balloon like gets bigger in their nose, and it supposedly just like pops all your shit in your face and your head. It's nuts. It's a dude from New York that does it, and I was like obsessing over it the other night. Like, I gotta get that done.
If you guys could see my face right now, I'm like shocked.
Yeah.
I'm totally shocked.
He
that
starts
sounds
out
scary.
It's pretty tight though. Like, I would try it because it says it gets rid of headaches and stuff like that, and like sinus pressure. And Lord knows I got me some sinus pressure and headaches all the fucking time. But yeah, he like starts out, puts like this balloon thing in your nose, and he like puts a like wedges it up there with like a little toothpick looking thing, and he's like, okay, and he just goes, and it like expands in their nose, and then he pulls it, like drops the pressure out of it and pulls it out of their nose, and they're like, oh my god, I felt that, like all the time, like how you see those chiropractic videos and they're like popping people's backs and all that, and they're like, ugh! like making all those fucking
How's that go again?
making all those noises. But yeah, so he like rams this thing up their nose, like squeezes this thing, and then with like the quickness, just pulls it out of their nose, and there's like boogers and all that shit.
Cute.
Yeah, so I definitely want to try that. I don't know if I'll have to go to New York for that, but yeah, I need to like look into somebody in California that does that. If you guys out there have seen it before, you know what I'm talking about, or you could just look it up, and you'll see what's going on with that. But it's pretty sweet. If you have any of that kind of shit going on, check it out. Maybe you might be able to find somebody and like drop me a line in an email or something, or a DM, and let me know where they're at, so I can go do that, because that'd be sweet.
Oh my gosh. Have you heard about those rescue rats that they're doing, the testing?
Yeah, I have.
So basically, they've been training. I just read about this last night. They've been training these rats, and they have little backpacks. And what they're doing is they're training these rats to go into disaster sites like earthquakes or just something where there's like a disaster. And they're trained to go find people and like live people. And then when they find a live person, they set off something in their backpack, and then it tracks like where that live person is, so that rescue teams can go and find them. And the rats know once they find that person, they go right back to where they came from, and it's helping, save people from, these disasters. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I saw a thing they look like little T-shirts, and they were like buzzing this like beeper thing or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then they were like taking them, down like these holes or whatever to find people, and the lady was like laying like she was like dead or whatever, like pretending.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I think that is so cool. It's awesome.
But I mean, how reliable though is a rat compared to like a dog?
Rats are pretty smart.
But yeah, you put it down a hole, and then that shit like goes and finds like fucking pizza rolls or something like that, and doesn't come back. And just snacking down there.
I mean, that's like a dog, like a drug dog. They're
Yeah, but you can call that shit back and be like, "Hey, so and so," and then they like run back to you, or like they have a device to where they know like to go.
That's true. I mean, it's been working so far. Hopefully it keeps working, because they can get into all those little spots, and I don't know. I thought it was really cool. And I think rats are cute. I'm weird.
It reminds me of the Ollie G show, where he goes to look at like the drug sniffing dogs and stuff, and he's like, but why don't you use a more intelligent animal like a dolphin? The guy's like,
oh yeah.
Well, like dolphins are like water mammals or whatever, and they're not going to be good for sniffing out drugs and everything like that. I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Oh my gosh, that shit was so funny.
That shit was crazy back in the day. So I'm reading actually right now. We're just chilling. Wow.
What are you reading?
America's fourth densest city has wiped out traffic fatalities by taking a page from Sweden and eliminating parking spots. Okay, so that would immediately fucking piss me off.
Wait, what? Getting rid of parking spots?
Yeah, it says for 7 years now, the city of nearly 60,000 people has reported resounding success. Not a single automobile occupant, bicyclist, or pedestrian has died in a traffic crash since January of 2017. In Hoboken, New Jersey.
How does that work?
Let's see. It says the mayor in 2018 of the city fully committed to Vision Zero, a set of guidelines adopted by numerous cities, states, and nations seeking to eliminate traffic deaths. It says Hoboken's success has chipped away at the notion that reaching zero traffic deaths is more aspirational than achievable. But where does it say? Hoboken's plan has numerous components, including lower speed limits and staggered traffic lights. Daylighting is often credited as one of the biggest reasons its fatalities have dropped to zero. But I don't know what the fuck that means. So, some of the new concrete structures are even equipped with bike racks, benches, and even rain garden planters that help absorb help absorb stormwater runoff if there isn't enough money for an infrastructure solution right away. So this is, I don't know, like, what's the deal with the taking away the fucking, what's the deal with taking away the parking spaces though? Like, I don't know, like, what's the deal with that?
Yeah, that kind of makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't know, like, if you take away parking spaces, like, where the fuck are just people just parking wherever they want? I don't know. So yeah, this is just bullshit, it looks like. But I could tell you right now, if we had no parking spaces, fucking people would be scrapping even more than they do right now.
Or getting tickets, because I know if I can't find parking, I'm going to find myself a parking spot.
Yeah, so that
Come back
story
and
was,
find my car gone or a parking ticket.
that story was fucking pointless right there. That was dumb as shit.
Oh my gosh.
Let me see here. Okay. Shit, I don't know. We had some questions that got sent in though. Should we get into those, I guess?
We can. I did want to talk about this one story that I read yesterday. So there's a group, so it's the YouTube music group in Austin, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently they all got laid off after they decided to unionize.
Oh, fuck.
And it's like the whole story is just so crazy. I was reading about it on, first it was on CNN, and it was on like a couple other pages too, but you know, basically they were all working from home, and you know, it was perfect for them, even though they weren't making that much money. They were able to work from home. They didn't have to worry about like paying for gas and stuff like that. And then they decided that they needed more money and more benefits. So when they decided to form a union and, you know, go on strike, that's when they all got let go. And so they were at like the headquarters out there, and I guess like the HR people were like, you know, harassing everyone in the building, and it was like this huge thing. But it was like, YouTube, what are you doing? You're such a big corporation. You should be taking care of your people. Like, it was really sad to like read all the different stories from people that like were working there, and you know.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, where I work at, we aren't union or anything like that, but we're really well taken care of. And I think YouTube is just being fucking stingy, like how other companies are, because like people start unionizing and then they get like these radical fucking like ideas and shit like that, and then all of a sudden they're demanding more money and all kinds of shit like that. So I think that was just like YouTube like trying to save their ass, maybe. I don't know.
I'm sure there has to be something illegal about that, because you can't, like, I wouldn't think that you can, like, they form a union and,
well, I mean,
like, they get fired.
Yeah,
like, I don't know anything about that. But
we're not allowed to unionize. We try to fuck around and unionize, and it's like whoever's at the spearhead of that whole shit is gonna get in a lot of fucking trouble. So and a lot of the times unions is as cool and shit like that as people think they are. They fucking suck, dude. Like, they don't really do like everything they plan on doing. I mean, they're basically there to keep you out of trouble, and that's about it. You pay them a lot of fucking money, like monthly or weekly or bi-weekly or whatever, to like basically keep the company off your ass. Like, if you get in a shitty situation, they can come and be like, hey, we're gonna file a grievance, or we're gonna do this and that, and basically just they come to save the day if you're fucking up, really. And then you have to have like voting and all this other shit, and then like it gets into like crazy contractual shit, and that's how people strike, is because when they don't get their way, then they get pissed off. And I think that was YouTube's basically like, hey, like, this is our version of like, fuck you guys, because they don't want to shell out any more money. I mean, if you had to fucking work from home, dude, at YouTube, how hard is your fucking job? Like,
yeah,
you sit there and you're like, oh, I'm going to put the new fucking Celine Dion or fucking Usher song on YouTube, and you click 15 times and your day is done. Like, why does YouTube need to get like fucking held upside down and shaken? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense. So I think that's them just being like, nice try, motherfuckers. There's plenty of like other nerds out there that can do the shit we need them to do, and we can still keep shit rolling, you know, like as opposed to them unionizing and be like, well, we're not happy with a 30-minute lunch break and I don't have enough time to go to Taco Bell and, you know, come back home. That's not fair to me. I need to be an hour long and this and that. And then they just take it and run with it. So I think that's why, and not necessarily like over lunch breaks, but I think that was YouTube like curving their shit and like trying to tell them like, look, you guys are fucking work from home people and you're not going to try to fucking unionize on something that doesn't need to be unionized. They're not like you're fucking working at a steel mill or something, you know?
That's true. You know, they were only making $19 an hour.
Yeah, but what the fuck? Like, you're working from home, dude. You're not doing anything major. Only $19 an hour. Like, that's to work at home. Look at those people that, not putting them down, but the people that work in, like, In-N-Out, they're making buku bucks. But how often do you see, you know, the fucking back cook at the, you know, In-N-Out sitting down on his ass?
Never.
Yeah, I don't even know if I've ever heard anybody get dismissed for a fucking lunch break in there. Well, I've been
true.
there.
That is true.
And they make a fortune, and I don't know if they're union or not, but that's how you keep your people happy, dude. You pay them what they want to be paid, or not necessarily what they want to be paid, what they should be paid.
I want $100 an hour. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and that shit comes with just working in general. Like, nobody's going to make a lot of money without working, you know, a job that will pay them like that. Like, if you're a YouTube music person, fucking cry me a river, dude. You got to work at home, and now you're going to try to get back at the company that gave you a job that said you could work at home instead of working in a cramped-ass office or somewhere shitty like that, and you're fully taking advantage of a good thing. Like, if I had no other aspirations and I was like, oh, I want to be an internet guy and fucking do whatever I want to do for forever, and I want to work at YouTube, that would be my thing. There's no way that you could get around, like, telling them, hey, we're going to unionize and what we're going to do is going to work, because it's not going to fucking work. It's never going to work. Just shut up, get paid, click a couple times on the internet, and be done with your day. That's it. So if you're working in a productions, you know, style job, then yeah, there might be a chance that you guys unionize or you don't unionize, and that's like pretty much how it's got to go. Like, you're not gonna get what you want for doing minimal work, like, especially like that. It's not gonna happen. So I don't know what to tell you on that one. That kind of sucks, but it doesn't, because they try to be pushy and then they got their asses handed to them. So now they have no job. So good luck. Maybe you guys can find a job at fucking Spotify or some shit like that, or Apple Music, and upload the new Diddy music when that comes out after he gets done raping everybody. You hear about all that? Diddy being a fucking sexual deviant. Yeah.
Yep, I did hear about that.
That crazy ass Orlando Brown says that he freaked with Diddy. And,
oh my gosh, yes, I did hear about that, and I was like, dude, gross.
Yeah. Yeah, Diddy's
so
disgusting.
gross.
I think he's completely guilty of it, honestly. Like, he's been a weirdo for a long time, and he has like so much power that he's perverted by it, I think. Like, he just like snatches people up and is just like, look, you're going to have to SMD if you want this Grammy award, or
SMD.
something stupid.
Oh,
I think he's guilty of that shit, though. I wouldn't put it past him that he's been perving off with probably really, really young age kids and getting them signed music, and just being an overall disgusting person. But they said he was doing like Epstein style shit.
Oh,
like,
no.
Yeah, like being a fucking freak and preying on the youngsters like that. And yeah, who knows, man? Diddy's a fucking weirdo, dude. Real big weirdo.
What a weirdo.
Yeah, slightly. He's a freak. Oh. So Diddy, he's been in the news lately, and I talked about it actually, I think it was last podcast or the podcast before that, where I was saying that he had some speculations and shit like that of him diddling children. And so now it's really coming out. Like, people are actually starting to press it, and they're getting into like the mainstream news and stuff like that about him being a total weirdo. So Just a matter of time before they launch an investigation, or he has somebody else killed, like he did Tupac and Biggie and all that shit.
Ooh, nobody wants to hear about that, though, right? Like, no, he didn't do it.
Well, you never know. He's got a lot of power, and he's just like behind the scenes of a lot of shit. So he's behind the scenes and behind some teens. That's his MO. He's disgusting. So yeah, let me ask you some questions now, so that way you can be the guest.
I know, I'm being quiet.
Let's talk about pet peeves.
Oh boy.
What are some of your pet peeves?
Oh man.
And they can be about me too. I don't care.
Some of my pet peeves. I kind of have like specific pet peeves. Like, okay, at work, I get so annoyed when we get busy at work and when people don't want to like deal with the busyness, so they hang out in like the back office and they don't want to be out on the floor and they just leave it for everyone else, so that, you know, they don't have to deal with all the customers, and they're like, oh, we'll just hang out in the back. And which is kind of, like I said, it's a specific pet peeve, but it's like, dude, let's help these fucking people so it's not so busy anymore. And I'm not out here by myself. You know, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's one of my pet peeves.
Mm-hmm.
I have a pet peeve with when we're watching a movie and you get a phone call and you answer the phone call while we're watching the movie. Like, why are you answering? Or like right when we start eating dinner. Like, hey, you can, you know, send them a text and say, hey, we're watching a movie or we're eating dinner. Let me call you later.
Yeah, but then I always get nervous when I get calls, like it's going to be a bad call. So that's why I pick the phone up every time, because I'm afraid of like, oh, I'm not going to pick it up this time, and then something fucked up happens.
Then you'll get another call right after.
We've been trying to get a hold of you, whatever.
About your car's extended warranty?
Yeah, they're calling about my car's extended warranty. Fucking shout out to extended warranties, dude. Like, I would have been fucked if I didn't have that extended warranty. So good thing I got that. Like I was telling you guys.
Yeah, that was a whole mess. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But if it was back to, you know, the pet peeve.
Yeah.
If it was an emergency, I'm sure you would get a call right after.
Yeah, but what if it was them calling me during their emergency and something happened and I wasn't able to get, I'll just call them back.
Okay.
And then they don't answer the phone. Then
so
what?
I'll give you that. But every time when you do answer the phone, you continue the conversation with, no, nothing, just eating dinner. Oh, nothing, just watching a movie.
Yeah, and then the phone call ends and then we eat dinner.
After like 10, 15 minutes.
Hey, sometimes you gotta talk, dude. I don't know.
Or you do it when you're sleeping. Or like when we're sleeping and you get a phone call in the morning. You get a phone call in the morning and you're sleeping. I'm sleeping. But now we're both awake because you have to answer the phone call. And I only had like 30 minutes more to sleep.
Oh, well, you know, sometimes you just gotta talk on the phone.
Oh my gosh, guys, this happens so much. Like, he always, and the funny thing is, whenever we're not together and like, if I call him and I wake him up if he's like napping or something, and I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to wake you up. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. And I can obviously tell that he's been sleeping, but he doesn't want to admit that like I just woke him up out of like a really good sleep.
Well, sometimes it's not a good sleep, so I'm just like, hey, fuck it, I'm just gonna answer the phone, and that's when I answer the phone.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't like being woken up.
Well, I don't either, but hey, shit happens.
This guy. What are your pet peeves? Let's hear it.
I have a lot. Like, knowing me, I have a lot. I saw one the other day, and I've told you about this one a lot. People and their fucking registration tags on their cars.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know why that pisses me off so bad. Okay, so I'm sure everybody that's got a whole entire brain knows how to put their registration stickers on in California, okay? On the left-hand side of the plate goes the month. This is for the rear of the car, obviously, because you don't put stickers on the front. On the rear license plate, the month goes on the left-hand side, and the date goes on the right-hand side. When people have those backwards and I see it, like, out and about, I immediately get fucking pissed off. Like, this person is dumb. They can't even read their license plate and put a sticker on correctly. How are they liable to drive around and read signs and like operate, vehicles safely? Like that shit. I don't know why it fucking pisses me off so bad. But I saw one the other day that was like probably the worst I've ever seen. And it's not just like that the tags were swapped. Okay, so I was actually driving by your work, going to your work the other day. Mm-hmm. So I'm driving through the parking lot. I just get in the parking lot, and there's this person fucking sat at the light, okay, going into the parking lot, number one, almost sat through the whole green. And I was like, fucking idiot. So they finally get the hint that the light's green. I had my arm on the horn and was going to beep at them, and then they picked their stupid face up off their phone and went into the parking lot. So when they get in the parking lot, we turn the corner or whatever, I'm looking at their license plate, and I don't know, because that's like the first thing that draws me to a car is just the license plate. And these guys didn't have their stickers backwards, okay? They had them on the plate in general, but they had the year on the right-hand side, and then right next to the year, not across in the month area, they put the month sticker. So it was like the month and the year on the same fucking side of the license plate in that top right corner. And I was like, no fucking way. Like, this has got to be top tier dumbass right here. Because, like, I don't know, like, who does that. Like, you can't, I don't know why that fucking pisses me off so much, but it does. And this is just the shit that I do when I drive. I always look at license plates, and if your shit's fucked up, you're a dumbass. And that's pretty much it. What's another one of my pet peeves? I don't know. You might know some that I'm forgetting right now because like my brain is scattering.
What are some of your pet peeves? Remember how I used to fold your clothes?
Oh yeah, I mean I could live with that because it's not like a huge one because I'm appreciative of when it gets folded. But like I don't know, I can live with that. That's not a huge one, but I don't know. Like since this show isn't like plotted out, my brain is in 50 fucking thousand different like universes right now. It's not on the regular program like it usually is, like where I'm just like ripping thing after thing after thing, and coming up with shit off the cuff right now is like totally scattering my brain.
Well, I feel very honored that you asked me to be on your podcast.
Well, of course, it's the 10th one. You put up with my shit podcasting for 9 previous weeks, and like like 3 or 4 of them I wasn't even home for. So
yeah. But they're fun. They're like, I don't know. I like hearing you talk about the things that are on your mind and what's going on in the world, because I'm pretty clueless when it comes to stuff.
I wouldn't say that. You know what's going on, but I always like to get the inside scoop on shit. And I know some people are like, oh, you're tripping. You think like this or you think like that. But honestly, dude, when you look at the news, how do you deny the shit that's going on? Like, I don't get how people are like, that doesn't happen like that. That's not really what's going on.
Yeah,
you guys got a long time to think about those things when later on all this crazy shit that we don't even know about comes to light. And then it gets even worse. And then it compounds your guys' sense of fucked up reality. So
that's true. I read about something, I don't know, it was a couple of weeks ago. I want to say this is somewhere in Antarctica. So that really, anyways, they have like this base or like this this building where they have stored, in case, you know, shit hits the fan, they have a place where they store like hundreds of thousands of different seeds.
Seeds?
Yeah, like seeds.
Yeah.
So that, you know, say, you know, we can't, like, we're not where we are now, and like the world shuts down. Say the world shuts down, they have a backup of all these seeds so that they can start harvesting all, you know.
They're going to harvest in fucking Antarctica?
No, that's just where they have it stored. It's like this whole, like a whole government like building, like
What?
underground. Yeah, I'm serious. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, like they're like, oh, we're out of fucking Granny Smith apples, guys. The population ate them all. Let's just fucking fly to Antarctica and grab our Granny Smith apple tree seeds.
Oh, I was wrong. It's in
And plant
Norway.
Oh, in Norway? I wouldn't doubt it. Norway, man. Those guys are...
Global Seed Vault.
Huh.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's this whole thing. And look at, I'm showing him a picture right now of what it
Svalbard
looks
Global
like.
Seed Vault.
Yeah,
Let's see what it says.
it's, and there was a video, there was a video of someone that was able to like go in and view it, but it's just, it's the trippiest looking thing. So if you ever get a chance, you guys got to check it out. But yeah, there's like hundreds and thousands of different seeds.
It says it safeguards duplicates of 1,214,827 seed samples from almost every country in the world, with room for millions more. Mm-hmm. Who the fuck thought of that?
I don't know, but that building looks trippy.
It's probably a fucking cover up for some other crazy shit.
It could be. But there is a video of someone going in and like exploring and seeing like what it looks like.
Is it a government building?
From what I remember, yes.
Hmm.
But it could be like a government building like for Norway.
Oh, it says the seed boxes are stored under black box conditions, meaning the depositors are the only ones who can withdraw their own seeds. When seeds are deposited in the Svalbard Global Seed Vault, their legal ownership is not transferred. This means that a depositor who chooses to store seeds in the seed vault is still the owner of the seeds and the only one who can withdraw them from the seed vault. That just tells me that fucking, what's his face, Microsoft boy, the fucking freak for vaccines and fake meat. What's his fucking ugly face?
Bill Gates?
Bill Gates. Yeah, he probably built that shit. And that's probably where he's storing all his bullshit, because if it's black box conditions, he can hoard as much shit from the world as he wants. Just like he's buying up all the fucking farmland and
I was just going to say,
probably fucking killing off all the fucking cattle like they did in
speaking
Texas.
of Bill Gates, there was an article talking about him, how he had bought out all this acre of land in like the places where like if the US floods, like California's gone. Like all like the outer parts of the US are gone. And there's certain middle parts of the US that are still here, and it shows that Bill Gates bought all this property on where like the geologists, yeah, like where the geologists,
where the fucking states break apart and
are saying that it's
dies.
not going to flood. Yeah. I was like, man, what a world to be a fucking
Well, it's like that's like
billionaire.
Hawaii right now. I forgot the company that bought up all the land over in Hawaii after those people's houses burned. Now they're just going and snatching up everything on the island, and
Oh yeah, I did read about that.
yeah, it's fucked. That's fucked. And then they're giving $1.5 million to the families that had people die in those fires and stuff like that. Basically telling them like, hey, shut up, don't sue us.
Yeah.
Take this money and just be quiet, kind of thing.
Yeah. Hush hush money.
Yeah, that's what that shit's all about. And that's pretty fucked up that they would do that, because what's going to happen over there is, I don't know, there's that whole rabbit hole thing of was it like a government laser that set all those fires and all this shit. And they have patents for like super high powered lasers that can like basically get attached to airplanes and stuff like that and shoot down into the ground or whatever,
Yeah.
like igniting fires and shit like that. So
Oh, okay. I
don't
know what you're
like,
talking about.
yeah, that shit's pretty fucking nuts. They have a lot of like weird rabbit hole type shit like that. I don't know if that's what the whole Hawaii thing was. They're blaming it still on like an electrical fault or something like that that sparked the fire and all this other stuff. But their whole aftermath game that they played was way off the wall. Like they covered a bunch of shit up. They were playing the blame game, and then they finally settled it. But now you have companies that are going up and buying like all the burned up property and stuff like that, and they're not giving people opportunities to rebuild their house. So that's kind of shitty.
Yeah, that really sucks.
And on top of that, they have that whole like colored roof thing. Like people are painting their houses like with certain colored roofs. Did you hear anything about that? Like the whole like blue and red, yellow roofs and shit like that. And they're saying like Oprah painted her house like a certain color, and like it's just fucking, that whole thing is so sketchy. Like the whole like it's almost like a designator. Like, hey, don't fuck with my house. Anything else that's not these colors or whatever is fair game. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, I heard something about that, but it was somewhere in like a third world country where they were painting their roofs and like light blue.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's insane. Like I can't believe that. What is this world coming to?
Well, nothing good if we don't get the result we want in November. That's for fucking sure.
I know. We're living in Biden's America now.
Yeah, and we all know how that shit goes.
Hopefully not for long.
Nope, hopefully. We'll have to get onto that shit maybe in another show.
Ooh,
like I'm not already on it. Everybody knows, dude. If you listen to this podcast, you already know what the fucking deal is, what I'm about, what the show's about. Well, I can't really say what the show's about, but...
Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah, totally. Let's go, Brandon, FJB, all the other acronyms and initials and stuff you can come up with for this bozo. But I don't know. We filled in any questions now?
Yeah, let's answer. We got some pretty good questions earlier today. So go ahead.
Okay.
Which one do you want to tackle first?
Let's go with this guy here. What do you both consider as cheating?
Ooh. Go ahead.
Well, you're the guest, so what do you consider as cheating?
Oh, man. See, here's the thing. There's a lot of different forms of cheating. Well, I guess not a lot of... Okay. There's physical cheating, and then there's emotional cheating, which both are pretty... They're both horrible. I feel like I don't have to really explain like the physical cheating part. Like,
yeah, I mean that's pretty much a done deal. Like, answer for both of us.
But like emotional cheating, it comes in all different forms. It can be a form of, talking to a person behind your partner's back, knowing that, your partner doesn't like that. Or like either like that person, or that your partner is going to be uncomfortable with that. It could be meeting up with someone behind your partner's back. It could be, there's just so many different things that come with emotional cheating, but it all falls along the lines of doing something behind your partner's back that that they wouldn't be okay with.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you think?
Same shit, yeah. I mean, all of it's fucked up. But, yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything to add to that one. We pretty much fucking knocked that out of the park.
Yeah, I feel like we both think a lot alike when it comes to the same thing, so... yeah, that's,
Cool. All right. Shit. How about... Oh, this one. Why do you both support guns? This is, I do too, but I'm just curious. Why do we both support guns? Well, for one, they're fucking sweet, dude. Guns are fucking awesome because they can be used in a multitude of different facets. Like, obviously, you have your home defense kind of stuff that you can have for your house and in order to, take away, home invaders or break-ins or robberies or whatever you want to call them. And then you have your concealed stuff, which is also pretty cool. But we know in California is like fucking almost impossible to get unless you live outside of LA County. They're pretty much handing them out like candy everywhere else. And, LA County is notorious for its crime rate, and you're not going to get one. So anyways, guns are cool. I mean, it's a cool hobby to have. It can be expensive, but I don't know. If you're into the whole Second Amendment thing, that's your right to, bear arms, dude. Like, that's just pretty much it's been written in, the fucking Constitution for a bajillion years. So I don't see how people nowadays are for taking away the Second Amendment and all that stuff like that. It's like those people are completely mental. So that's my take on it. What about yours?
Oh, man. There's a lot to it, but to kind of make it simple along the lines of what you said, biggest thing is self-defense. I'm a fairly, what am I trying to say? If a bigger person comes up and tries to attack me, I've got noodles for arms. And I say this at work probably 20 times a day. I'm not the strongest individual, so having a firearm to protect me, makes me feel a lot more comfortable.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I don't have anything else. I'm not a fighter. I'm not, anything like that. So having my firearm to protect me makes me feel safe. Not only that, like you were saying, going shooting is a lot of fun, and it helps me perfect my shooting. So that helps me when it comes to self-defense. And then another thing too is, I see a lot of people talk about like, well, what did Oprah say? She said, was it Oprah? It was Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh yeah.
It was
I've heard a couple quotes from both of them, like pretty much simultaneously just said, I'm a big fat piece of shit. So that was the only quote that I remember.
Oh, okay. That is true. But, I think I'm pretty sure it was Whoopi Goldberg where she's like, I'm coming for your ARs and yada, 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 whatever. Wah, wah. When shit hits the fan and you don't have McDonald's to go to, you don't have your Vons to go to get your food, you have your firearms and you go hunting. And as, hunting is I've never been hunting. I like to fish, but I'm not a hunter. But when I don't have my go-to, my grocery stores, my fast food, I got to do something to make sure that I'm taken care of. So you got to go hunting. Guns, it's not the guns itself, it's the people behind it.
Yep, that's the biggest thing, yeah.
That's what it is. And, to talk about the topic of, why do we support guns and, like all these laws in California, it's one of those things where these laws are stopping law-abiding citizens from protecting themselves. Rather, like criminals, they're gonna get guns one way or another.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Yep, it's just taking the rights from the people that actually exercise them the way that they're meant to be, and they're just handing over free reign to the criminals. Basically, it's just
exactly
a conversion of good to bad, and they want the bad to reign supreme. And it's not like it isn't. I mean, look at the fucking crime rates everywhere right now. It's through the roof.
Yeah.
And you see it on all types of shit on the internet. You just got to go out and look for it. It's not just radical people that have safes and walls full of guns and stuff like that. It's common knowledge now to people that society is fucked, and there's nothing that anybody else is going to do. I mean, they've had their defund the police movement and all that shit. So now they want to cry about, oh, it takes the police forever to get here. Well, no fucking shit. You fired half the people that are there to protect you, so better fucking ante up, go get yourself a gun, and if it fucking comes down to it, dude, take matters into your own hands. I'm not saying go and fucking rob places and shit like that, but you gotta do what you gotta do to protect yourself. And in this case, these times, having a gun ain't gonna be such a bad idea when you're getting attacked and you're getting beat up, like you said, or you need it and you don't have it.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So
good point.
That's it for that one, I think. Let's see. How do you deal with having a different work schedule than me? That was another one.
Oh, man. So for those of you that don't know, I don't know, I feel like, I don't know how, because you have like different schedules.
Yeah, my schedules rotate.
Okay, so
if I'm on a night schedule, how do you work that out? Like being different than me.
So I would say that it is kind of hard because, I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. I am a needy person, so I obviously want to spend as much time with Ryan as I can. So, it sucks. So when I enjoy partially when you work on nights because I get to sleep in with you. Mm-hmm. I get to wake up next to you and it's awesome. I get up, I get ready for work. I work 99% of the time. I work 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. So, I wake up, leisurely, and...
Yeah, when I don't answer the phone.
Oh, yeah, when you do answer the phone, it's like 8 a.m. But, yeah, so I get up and I get ready for work. I make his lunches, and it's nice. And then I leave for work and he still gets to snooze. But then, I get home anywhere from like 7:30, a little after 8 at night, and he doesn't get home until like midnight.
Yeah, and sometimes or later.
Yeah. And I'm a grandma, I I fall asleep early. So it kind of sucks not falling asleep next to him, but he gets home and I wake up and I stay awake for maybe an hour and I go right back to sleep. So
yeah, and then I'm usually up by myself for a little bit because it's not like I come home and like go right to sleep. I like take a minute to actually even get tired from work.
Yeah, your wind down time.
Yeah, if we're not going crazy at work, then yeah, it takes me a few hours to like really go to sleep. Like, okay, I'm done. Turn the TV off. Let's go to sleep kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it sucks. Yeah, it does suck.
But I will say, we've been living together now for a little over a year, and I'd rather have a couple hours, away from him than, go days without seeing him. But I do like when he works at nights because when he works during the day, this guy's up at 4:30 in the morning. Mm-hmm. And I'm tired as all heck, and I still get up and make his lunches early in the morning. But then I have to fall back asleep for, maybe 2 hours, which it takes me like an hour to fall asleep. But it's nice coming home from work and he's here. So I guess I don't know. I guess I'd rather wake up early and have him home early than have him leave for work later. It's not unbearable.
It sucks still though. Whatever. It is what it is. Yeah, it's just a shitty part about work. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But at least I'll be on a normal shift for a little bit, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Let's see. What's another one on here? Okay, this one I guess would be for me. How as a man do you balance being there for your kids and family, but being a good example as working hard and making enough money to give them everything they need and want? Well, I guess for this one, obviously I don't have kids. The closest thing to kids I have are my animals, and Kayla. So, not that you're a kid, but I think with that,
That's a really good question. I
yeah,
can really appreciate that question.
I like to be home as much as possible. Like I've said, God, for a long time now on these shows, as much as possible. I fucking hate being away from home, but you know, certain stuff happens, and you gotta do what you gotta do, which is totally understandable. Sometimes it's shitty, but it's, you know, if it's in the interest of bettering yourself or your family or your kids in this case, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you can't hold yourself to being guilty, I guess, for wanting to work and, you know, provide for your family and stuff and make sure everybody's taken care of. You know, people hustle. They have multiple jobs. For me, I just have my job that I'm like super enveloped in, thankfully. So you know, I have certain facets within that job that suck. You know, certain shitty work hours or, you know, schedules or whatever it might be. But you know, if you have kids and stuff like that, I'm sure when they're old enough, if they're not already old enough, and they'll begin to understand how much of a sacrifice you make for them to be having parents, number one, that care about them, or if you're a single parent or whatever the deal is, and the sacrifices that you make in their youth to provide for them, and give them the best life possible, and, you know, provide them with whatever it may be, whether it's food or toys or a movie day or whatever. And that's kind of like something that I didn't think about as a kid, with my parents. I just knew that they worked a lot. They worked hard. Both of them have a fucking insane work ethic, and thank God that was instilled in me, because with my work, I live and breathe my work. Like if I didn't have my work, like I wouldn't be shit. Like honestly, I don't know what I would be doing right now if I didn't work where I work. So just putting in effort even at work, to better yourself there in a professional aspect too, I think goes a long way, because nothing that you do at work, you know, can get you anything more. You know, I don't know if that sounds kind of weird to say that, but if you're basically going to work and you're just kind of, you know, humdrum going through the motions until, you know, either something better comes up, or, you know, you're expecting the promotion and stuff like that, but you're not working towards anything like that, that can kind of put a damper on you elevating yourself in a professional aspect. So with me, it's always been put your best foot forward and just fucking work your ass off. And if you want the next thing at work or whatever it may be, that's the way you're going to get it, man. So, I mean, different places have different kind of guidelines or whatever it might be, but I don't know. I've always excelled in my workplaces and stuff like that, and going from job to job, it's just been about getting bigger and better things out of life, like in general, whether it's for myself, for family, or whatever. The more responsibility you take, I think the more weight it has on the work that you do to perform, to be able to be adequately paid or compensated or whatever you want to call it, in order to get the things you need to provide for your family. So that's kind of what drives me at work. Like if I'm being a fucking bum at work and not giving a fuck, like it's going to reflect, and then I can't complain about shit when my managers or whoever it is, you know, gives me a review and they're like, hey, like you fucking fell off kind of thing. Like look at your performance record here. What the fuck happened kind of thing. So I don't know, man. For me, it's been go hard at work, and you're going to get what you want outside of work sooner than later, because it shows. And I've seen it happen for years now. Within my statement of work, you know, people just come in thinking that it's just your regular 9 to 5, and they just slide through. And then at the end of the year, they're all pissed off and shitty. But I didn't get this, I didn't get that. Well, yeah, you're you're being a dickhead the whole year and not, caring. You're showing off and, gloating that, oh, I don't do shit. I don't do things because I don't get this and I don't get that. Well, that just goes on your track record, dude. And I'm sure one of these days you're going to get pissed off and fueled by that enough that you're going to put your best effort into actually working. So,
I also feel like it's important to say that, it's like that saying, work hard, play hard.
yeah.
Life shouldn't be all about work. I feel like it's important to reward yourself, whether it's with a lazy day or, go out and treat yourself to a nice dinner or go to I can't talk. I don't know, a baseball game. It's important to reward yourself for working so hard.
Yeah,
And
you can't just be slaving away all the time. Like, that's not fun.
yeah, exactly. Like, it's got to be hard, having, working a lot, and whether you have, like us, like a fur family, or, having kids, it's important to take that time to spend time with them and make yourself happy, because you don't want your whole world to revolve around work, which, money's nice. Money's really nice, don't get me wrong. But it's nice to spend time with your family and, have fun, because the memories are what's going to be worth it.
Yeah, and like I can't really speak to having kids, like I said, like actual human kids, because I'm sure it's on a different plane at that point. But yeah, just making it known to them, like, you do the things that you do on a professional level to provide for them. And like I said, when it comes down to them getting older and being like, damn, like, dad was fucking working his ass off, mom was working her ass off, like, look at all the shit they gave us, like, we were able to, do this or do that. It'll hopefully instill in them the same type of work ethic that you have when they get older, or they get to the point where they're getting jobs and stuff like that. They're going to want to strive for more. So I mean, it's like it's about the bigger picture, I guess. I mean, like I said, I don't have kids on a human level, but I mean, taking as much time to see your kids and hang out with your kids or your significant others or whatever is very important, and it shouldn't be just put on the back burner like you were saying. But I think work plays a big role in providing and stuff like that, and it's just up to the individual to kind of take that responsibility and that lead, and just strive to be the best person you can be, really. I mean, that's all it comes down to. You can't really force the issue on your work or your manager to, hey, man, I need a $10 raise now, because, that's realistically not going to happen.
I wish.
Yeah, I wish. But, yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much all I got on that one. I don't think there's anything left.
Actually, I was going to ask you.
What?
You were saying that you had viewers in Turkey?
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
That is so cool. Where else, like?
Mainly U.S., but statewide and stuff like that. Canada.
Okay.
Canadians. And the UK.
Nowhere else?
Not yet.
That's
you guys
really
got to get this show out, man. If you guys got any cross the ocean friends, start blabbing to them about this podcast, dude, because it's pretty awesome, I think. And for those that listen, I don't know, man. I've had a lot of good feedback from the friends and stuff like that at work, even if it's just joking and it's just, whatever. It's still kind of a driver, like I said last week. So it makes it that much more important for me. If you guys are interested in getting on the podcast, I guess, shoot me a line, man. We can chat about some funky shit. But yeah, I think we're good. Yeah. Have you had your fill of being the very first guest on the show?
I'm like so excited to be your first guest. I know I'm a nervous Nelly. I'm like,
It's all
oh my
good.
gosh, what do I talk about?
It is weird though, isn't it? Like talking to a room with nobody in it. Like that's what I'm telling you. Like when I sit down and do these like podcasts, nobody.
See, I feel like it'd be a lot easier to do it. Not easy, but like sitting next to you and like talking about stuff.
Yeah, because you can bounce.
It should be normal because we do this all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's definitely different, but it's been awesome to talk about stuff that we don't normally talk about, and the questions that we've gotten. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it's been fun. I've had definitely an enjoyable experience. Wasn't really sure how the whole guest thing was gonna go, but it's gone fucking phenomenally. So
Our view right now is we're watching.
I don't even know what this is. We still are on MTV Classic an hour later.
Yeah, music videos.
Just
and
fucking...
a fire. We've got one of our fur babies laying on my shoulder.
Yeah, the other one's outside playing with this big old huge tractor tire.
Yeah, he got a tractor tire. But yeah, it's been great. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
I really appreciate it.
Of course.
Of
Yeah, I think that's going to be it for episode 10, you guys. Like usual, just shout out to all the listeners, man, all the supporters so far, friends, family that are tuning in weekly to kind of see what I'm going to be talking about. This week was, it was a special one. We're on number 10. So for me, that's an accomplishment. I started this podcast just kind of not knowing really what to do, and it's kind of taken a form somewhat. I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't really have a target of the things that I talk about. I know I talk about the same, not really the same, but I'm on that political majority of the time plane, and I have no regrets about talking about any of that stuff at all. And I'm not saying sorry about that at all either. So
Good.
Just deal with it, but yeah, just like usual, man. I appreciate everybody that listens, that's been following. This podcast is obviously always available on wherever you stream your podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and other streaming services. So, wherever in the world you may be at, or in the States or whatever, get on it and check out the other episodes, all 9 of the other episodes, and subscribe to the socials. On Instagram, you can find me at digital_demons_podcast. I'm also on YouTube. All the episodes, YouTube. Those episodes update and are presented weekly, obviously. So like and subscribe to my channel. You can find me on there at Digital Demons Podcast. I'm also on X, and I keep saying it, but I'm reluctant to do anything on there. Mainly just because when I log on, I just hit that little search button, and it's just fucking fight videos, dude, and just crazy shit. So I just kind of get lost in that, and I'm just tuned out on there. But I'm gonna start Xing. Is it Xing or tweeting?
Man, I haven't had a Twitter in years.
Yeah, but so I'm gonna start Xing. I guess would be the formal name for it now. But you can find me on X at DGITLDMNSPOD, Digital Demons Pod. You can add me on there and see if we can find some fun stuff to talk about on that. And also, if you guys have any questions like this week or the weeks prior, you can email them to me at digitaldemonspodcast@gmail.com. And that's where I can be nasty grammed or sweet messages or whatever else in the internet world.
Gramming.
Nasty grams. No, if they get pissed off, they can send me a message.
Angry gram.
Yeah. Angry grams, Instagrams, nasty grams, whatever it is. But once again, guys, I appreciate you guys listening in to this week's podcast. And thank you to my gorgeous girlfriend, Kayla, for being the first guest on the show. So, yeah, you guys, let me know what you think about this podcast. And if you're interested in coming by and having a seat on the couch and discussing some stuff that's going on in the world or whatever, drop me a line. and don't be afraid. You guys take care of yourselves, all right? Peace.